Whole bunch of new crap to show you. Kick it! Hey, thanks for coming back to this channel. Thanks for clicking on this. I got a lot to choose from. Thanks for all the new subscribers, and thanks for those about to subscribe now. I made some side money on being an extra. Here they filmed in Chicago area, or in Chicago they film Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. I always fill out the things to be an extra. Sometimes you get to be an arm, you know, they don't really use the scene, but they'll cut the scene. Or I got to be like a guy on a phone a million miles away across the street, blurry. This is the first time I was actually you were able to kind of see me. I played a white supremacist drug dealer, and I was running out of a drug warehouse. So this scene here, you can see me. That was the finale of Chicago PD this year. I'll play it again in case you didn't see it. Yeah, look at that acting. You can totally tell I was a drug dealer. Drug dealers wore plaid. We liked grunge music, and we liked drugs. So we'll start with the toys. I already showed you my Star Wars nerd. What is it called? That Snow Speeder. And a lot of people online said, hey, you could just flip it over, take it off, and you could repair it so the little lasers work and all that stuff. So I'm not a handy person. I've gotten by through life just on my looks alone. And but I might. And I went to the same store that I bought that, Brick and Brack, and bought me a Empire Strikes Back blaster or rifle blaster. Pretty cool. I overpaid for this. I don't mind overpaying if the store is cool. You want to support stores. Not everything in life should be bought at the cheapest price. You know, if it's new from Amazon or if it's used from eBay. You got to go out to the real world people and support brick and mortar stores sometimes. What else did I get? I went to the flea market and bought some junk. I bought a Buck Rogers movie poster, so I got that already hung up. I replaced I had a Beastmaster 2 poster there, and I replaced that. And I bought these 3 toy things along with the Buck Rogers. I had 2 of those, but I found those for like $4 each, or like just a few bucks each. Super 7, they make action figures. Toys, dolls, they make dolls for us old people. And they made Mark Mother's Bow from DEVO, the singer from DEVO. You Must Whip It. Comes with the whip. And it comes with a little bit of whipped cream. A little bit of whipped cream there for Mark. So yeah, I'm happy to add that to my DEVO collection. Let's get into the CDs. I also bought this for $1 at the flea market. This is a repo made one of those electronic football games. The original one was easy. I could just go forever. Like you're a dot, you know. This one is hard. I can't get past the dots. Kids today, you got realistic video games. You don't even know if you're watching like a movie or real sports on TV. Back then, oh, you knew. You knew you were playing a game. Because you were a damn dot. But hey, let's get to music. Armored Saint, a brilliant band. I only own 1 or 2 of their albums on vinyl. 1 or 2 of their albums. You know what I mean. I only own like 2 of their records. But a band that I just saw open up for Wasp last year. This is their 8th release from 2020. This is Punching the Sky. I've played it a few times, really like it. I have a CD player in my car, so I'm able to listen to CDs in the car. It's really fun. CDs are a lot cheaper than vinyl these days, so I got that. Picked this one up used at the flea market. This is Mastodon. This is their 4th one from 2009, Crack the Sky. I saw Mastodon live at Riot Fest. I think they were opening up for Slayer, and I had no idea who they were, and this kid in line's like, you never heard of Mastodon? And then I saw him walk into the fair area, and he's just like, Mastodon! And I'm like, oh, they must be something good, I guess. So, and they were a really, really good band. So I'm glad I have this on vinyl. I have a few of their albums on vinyl. I have a few of their records on vinyl. But now I have Crack the Sky. I can put that in my iTunes. Megadeth, this is their 11th album from 2007. I believe I just need 2 or 3 more, and I've completed my catalog with them, either having their stuff on vinyl and or CD. I'm getting a lot on CD because, like I said, vinyl is a little too much. United Abominations. I think this is one of their more, like I said, it's from 2007, but within the last 20 years, probably one of their top albums from the last 20 years, because this is it's a really good one. It's nice and heavy. Mr. Tom Petty and Heartbreakers from 1979. This is his 3rd one, and probably the best when you look through an album rank of Tom Petty. A lot of people put Wildflowers up top, which I don't know. I would put this one. Damn the Torpedoes. That has Refugee, which I believe was the first video I ever saw on MTV way back in the early 80s. Here Comes My Girl. That's a great one. Don't Do Me Like That. Good stuff. Good Tom Petty. R.I.P. Tom Petty. Band from Champaign, Illinois that never broke it big in the alternative world, but to me they're one of the best. The Poster Children. Let's see, this is their 6th album from 1999. They were ahead of the game on like MP3 and CD-ROMs and all that stuff. I believe this has some MP3 stuff on it. Way ahead of the game on it. A great alternative driving rock. Really good stuff, Poster Children. This is the band Skate Niggs. This is from Stupid People Shouldn't Breed. I agree with that, man. I wish there was an IQ test to have kids. 1992, this is their first album. In 1990 or 1991, I saw Skate Niggs and the Mentors open up for the Revolting Cocks. It was one of the most crazy, drug-induced, crazy shows I've ever seen at the Riv in Chicago. I felt sorry for anyone that had to work sound or anyone that wasn't totally out of their minds had to work with these 3 groups because they were off the wall. But Chemical Imbalance is their big song off of this. It was a 12-inch single before this came out. It's a good song. It does, it gets a little... I like Ministry a lot. Skate Niggs is a hit or miss. It came out on Megaforce Records, 1992, Skate Niggs. It's kind of like Ministry in a way, but just not as good. But it's fun. But for sure, when you're listening to it, you know it's not from any time around now. You know it's from early 90s when that stuff was big. Whitesnake, 1982. This is their 5th album, Saints and Sinners. A lot of people are like, this is the one right before Slide It In. They kind of broke, I think, in America with Slide It In. I love that record. I got that. I don't even know how I got it. It just showed up or something, and I used to spin that like crazy. Love Slide It In. This has the original version of Here I Go Again, which I kind of like more than the other version. I think there were 2 other versions because they came out with a version from the Whitesnake self-titled album, the 80s one, and then I think they redid it even with more keyboards, and he didn't scream as much, for like the pop effect, and that really hit it big with that song. But this is the original version you're going to hear, first version of Here I Go Again, and it's really good. And I really like this album. It's kind of like bluesy, heavy metal stuff. Saints and Sinners, Whitesnake. I got this. I was born in 71, so I got the Billboard Top Rock and Roll Hits of 1971. This was like $1 at the flea market. Let's see. Indian Reservation song, Treated Like a Lady. Black Magic Woman by Santana. I've never liked Santana. I just can't get into him. I really... Black Magic Woman was always one of those classic rock songs that I would just turn the dial on. Dragon Line was a big song of the year by Tommy James. Another one, kind of boring. Yeah. And then another thing. 1971, Rock. Top 40 Chartbusters. 1971. I play this. I'm like, wow, this music seems really old. Oh, wait, I'm really old. Man, I tell you, my favorite one off of this one, probably, I don't know. Mr. Bojangles by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band probably is my favorite one off of this one. Mr. Bojangles. Sammy Davis Jr. used to do Mr. Bojangles. Let's get to the vinyl. I shouldn't have bought a single record since the last time I did one of these updates because I have no room. I now have a crate on the floor that I'm putting my overflow in because all these shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rows of shelves are filled. What the hell am I doing buying more records? This one I've had for a long time, about 30 years or so. Urge Overkill Saturation. This is the original orange vinyl pressing. The reason why I'm showing this is a sad note. Blackie O, the drummer, just passed away last week. Filming this June 2023. So yeah, Blackie O passed away at age 57. 57's way too young to go. But of course, when you're a musician, you get that unique chance to kind of leave part of you in this world. When you go, your music's still there. So cool old drums on Urge Overkill. I do like some of the early Urge Overkills, kind of hit or miss. But when Saturation came out, I think that's their peak. They did great. What else did I buy? I bought this American Legion, Greg Gaffin, singer from Bad Religion, longtime punk rock band from California. This is his long out of print solo album from 1997, newly remastered on colored vinyl. Let's see, what color? I think it was red. I only played side 1. This is kind of like folk rock with some kind of swing, a little bit of jazzy swing. It's not Bad Religion, but I mean it's Bad Religion because it's Greg singing. And you're like, oh, look at that red vinyl. You're like, oh, that's a Bad Religion voice, but it's not. I was hoping it would be kind of like sort of like Bad Religion, like driving. I don't even know. I think there's drums on it, but yeah, it's a lot of like acoustic guitar, kind of like folk rocky stuff with him singing it. I played side 1; it was good. So yeah, I'm interested to play side 2 and hear a little more of the solo album there. And of course, if you don't have any Bad Religion, you need to get. They have tons of records. Great records for Bad Religion. That's a great punk rock band right there. I bought this one for $1. Yes, some people at the flea market are selling vinyl for $1 or $2. It's rare. Some of the cheap vinyl at the flea market now is like $10. That's my $10 bin. You can sell it for what you want, but I ain't buying it. So Chicago 7, I didn't like this one as much. Chicago's hit or miss with me, and I really only been really trying to get into them the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. When they were originally out, I just never paid that much attention to them. I thought they were too like light rock and horns. I didn't think horns were cool. But this has, the big one is I've been searching for a long time. It's a big one off that. Was that Peter Cetera, that high voice of his. But yeah, Chicago 7 is fuck. That's a good thing about vinyl. When people sell it for $1, you can take a chance. You can listen to it. This was not. This was about $14. This is The Doors, self-titled, from 1967. I don't like a lot of 60s music per se, but this is one of the bands from the 60s that I will gladly play. The Doors. This is their first one. Break On Through. Alabama Song. I love that one. Light My Fire, of course. The End. It's great. You can't listen to The End and not think of Republics now. You just have to. Great White. Of course, everyone knows Great White, Once Bitten, Twice Shy, that whole thing. This is their first one. It was released, I don't know, 82, 83, 84. It was like their first album called Great White, and I think it had another name. And then they re-released it. The album company re-released it, trying to cash in on them in 87. And they called it On Your Knees, the first LP from Great White. And I don't know, I'm assuming that guy's just hugging a really short girl. She's just really short. And it's got 5 songs: Out on a Night, On Your Knees, Last Time, No Way, and Dead End. Nothing off this really grabbed me that much. It's not really commercially, so it doesn't have those hooks. It's kind of bluesy, heavy metal-y kind of stuff that they're known for. Of course, Jack has a great singing voice, great singer, but yeah, there wasn't too much on this that really did. Speaking about bands that I was kind of looking back and trying to rediscover, like Chicago, all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm like, I want to listen to some Man for Man and the Earth Band. And of course, this is the Roaring Silence. This is their 7th one from 1976. Man for Man has a long history, and the Earth Band's put out a lot of records too. This has Blinded by the Light, of course written by Bruce Springsteen, and has the lyrics that everyone screws up. It is not wrapped up like a douche. Why the hell would Bruce Springsteen do that? It's but she was blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce. I'm assuming like a pilot. I don't know. Another runner in the night. So revved up like a deuce. Nothing about douches. It's a weird. I don't like the cover. I don't like things inside of things. Like, ever watch those shows where they remove like worms out of people's ears and stuff? I don't like that. I don't like the mouth inside the guy's ear. I wouldn't censor it and I wouldn't ban it. I'm just saying I don't like it. It's disturbing. But yeah, he's got a good voice. Of course, another big song of theirs that everyone knows, which is another Bruce Springsteen one, I believe, is For You. I Came For You. It's just called For You. Now, this is off of their Chance album. This is their 10th one from 80. These guys are putting out an album a year. And this is a really good one, too. I don't know how much more Manfred Mann Earth Band I'm going to get into, but I know I wanted these two because of those big songs. So I wanted the album to see like how those songs fit within the other songs of the album. Not Everything Is Good. Let's file this under Not Everything Is Good. This record company, Comeback Vinyl. It's a brick and mortar store, I believe, from Georgia. They do a great online, they have a great online presence. They do great sales. They're always great people. I bought a lot of things from them. They had a hell of a sale. They were in overstock, some of their albums, for $5. Now, I'm always trying to get into newer bands because, you know, you just don't want to be an old guy just listening to the same Pink Floyd albums over and over. So I got The Morning Jacket, which I didn't know was considered like a jam band. I don't like jam bands. I don't like the Grateful Dead. I don't like Fish. I don't like people that just, hey, I'm just going to jam. Nah, show me a song structure with some umph to it and a popping chorus and driving, I don't know, heavy metal or punk rock. I just don't want to jam. It's usually hippie people that like that jam stuff. So the Morning Jacket's a band from Kentucky. What is this? This is their latest one. It's a self-titled one. It's a 2-album one, and it's from 2021. It's their 9th album. They've had 9 albums, I believe, and I don't like it. So this is a fine example of when you could buy something new for $5. Check it out. It's got 4 sides. I made it through side 1 and was like, I don't even want to listen to side 2. It's just not for me. So off to a store, I'll bring this in for credit, or I'll try to sell it on eBay for like $6 and try to earn $1. I don't know. It's just not for me. So you Morning Jacket fans out there, you love it, great. There's going to be more albums there for you because I'm never going to buy their crap. Tom Petty, who I only like early Tom Petty, not later Tom Petty. Wild Flowers, people are always saying is his greatest album. I don't know. So I bought the indie version, which is alternate versions of limited edition gold vinyl. So alternate version of all the Wildflower songs, 4 sides. I did make it through side 1 and 2. I like his voice. I like Tom Petty. This isn't that. It's not. I hate Free Fallin' in that era, so it's not. It's from that era, I believe, but it's not as bad as that. So it's a little more stripped down, and it's good. So I'll probably keep this one. But again, this is only $5 on sale. Come back vinyl. Can't go wrong. I love sales. This one I don't know why I bought, because I knew. I'm like, oh, Hot in the Shade. Look at all these great songs. I don't believe I have this album. Yes, I do. I have all these songs on other Rolling Stones albums. This is a compilation album. I picked it up for like $10. Brought it home and realized, why did I buy this? This isn't like a regular studio, but I guess if I wanted to hear like their hits on just one album, I could just pull this out. Hot, Made in the Shade, Rolling Stones. Yeah, I don't know. I bought it. I was in a good mood just buying records. This one's from the flea market. This was another. So I bought 2 for $1 each, and as I'm walking away, the guy's like, "Hey, why don't you go in there and pick out another one?" Because it was Chicago one. And the other album I bought for $1. Oh, which is after this. I'll show that one first. This is the other one I bought. Elvis and Madison Square Garden. Man, it's just poppy. I don't mind a little snap, crackle, pop in my albums. I love that sound with the warm sound of a vinyl. But if it overtakes it, which this does, and I've cleaned it, and I might have to clean it again, because this is really poppy. But it's got American Trilogy, and I love it. And I finally listened to the original version of American Trilogy, and if you haven't, it's up on YouTube. I forgot the performer's name. Mickey Newbury. He wrote and he does American Trilogy. It's good, but I kind of like Elvis's version better. But yeah, live from Madison Square Garden. I believe 72 is when they recorded this. So like he's got about 5-6 years until he dies. But yeah, it's really snappy poppy. So as I'm walking away, the guy's like, "Why don't you pick out a third one for free?" So I knew the name Steve Walsh, singer Kansas. This is a solo album. It sounds like Kansas because it's got the same vocalist. It's got a good high range, but it's a little more straight ahead than Kansas. It is kind of like arena rock, cheesy. I didn't really get into too many of the songs, but for sure I'm going to keep it because I do like his voice, and it's got one of the cheesiest record covers of all. If I ever put out a solo album, which I don't know what the hell I would do because I just play drums, but I would for sure want shirtless images of me just doing random things. Brian eating a pizza. Brian standing in line at Taco Bell. Brian flying a kite. All shirtless. All drawn. Last but not least, thankfully, Starbus. I love these cheesy-ass K-Tel 2-album sets. Starbus got Rick James, Bonnie Tyler, James Taylor, Robert Palmer. It's got all these bands that you just are like, what? It's got Baby Hold On from Eddie Money. Hot Child in the City from Nick Gilder. Yeah, it's just good stuff. It's just so cheesy. It reminds me of the 70s and early 80s, these kind of things. This was like $1 too. So, all right, well, that pretty much covers it. I did get a few more things. I'll show you real fast. This guy at the flea market again was selling these old circus magazines, so I bought those. This one's got Journey on the cover. Oh, no. That's got Styx on the cover. Duh. This one's got Journey on the cover, so. All right, well, I hope you like some of my new junk. Thanks for watching.